Hi everyone, welcome back to Free Info Friday. I'm pretty excited about today's topic. It's something a little different than what I've done before. So I'm going to discuss a news story that some of you may have already heard, and then discuss some legalities on both sides of the spectrum regarding the story. So some of you may have heard about the Louisville, Kentucky couple who were placed under house arrest after they refused to sign self-quarantine documents after one of the members tested positive for COVID-19. So basically, what happened was after they tested positive for COVID-19, they refused to sign self-quarantine documents, and a few days later, a official from the local health department showed up with a number of law enforcement officers in tow, and they forced this couple to put on ankle bracelets that would monitor their location and notify law enforcement if they moved more than 200 feet. So there's obviously a lot of arguments on both sides of the spectrum, and this is a great tool to remind you guys that this really is unprecedented times that we're living in. We've never experienced quite a pandemic like this, and there's going to be a lot of new laws, a lot of new lawsuits, a lot of things going on that we haven't seen happen before, and people just simply don't know how to deal with them quite yet. So, take everything with a grain of salt and keep researching everything because things are going to change. This is unprecedented times. There may be a new precedent set sometime in the near future. So let's talk about some defense arguments defending against the couple, saying that they were right to put these ankle monitors on them. If there were evidence of this couple going out into public after they knew that they had this disease, they could, it would be an easy lawsuit to say that they had callous disregard for human life. This is a big tort lawsuit. And it basically means that you disregarded the life of others. It's most commonly used in like murder trials and things like that. So I could definitely see this argument coming up, especially if they had gone out in public and then that resulted in somebody else being infected with COVID-19 and that person dying. Another argument for having this couple under house arrest is simply that our constitutional rights, a lot of them are actually limited. So although, this couple was detained in their house, I think the Supreme Court will review this with to see if the policy was narrowly tailored and furthered a compelling interest for the public safety in a way that was as least restrictive as possible. So that's definitely an argument that the health department has against why they put this couple under house arrest. And that is the standard of review that the Supreme Court is using to kind of review policies during this pandemic. Now, for the couple's arguments, as far as I've seen, I didn't see any evidence that this couple did actually go out into public after they knew they were infected. So they could say, I think their argument already is that they weren't refusing to self-quarantine, but they were just refusing to sign the documentation. For whatever reason, they didn't like the wording or they didn't agree with how the documents were worded. So that's why they refused to sign, not because they weren't going to self-quarantine. So that's an argument that the couple has, that the ankle bracelets were unnecessary. They can also say that their Fourth Amendment's rights to unlawful detention were violated. But again, keep in mind that constitutional rights can be limited, much like our freedom of speech is limited in the way that you can't go into a movie theater and yell fire. Some of our rights may be limited, especially during this time, to favor the public safety of the entire community or even the entire nation. So keep in mind that there are those sort of limits on our constitutional rights. A lot of people don't know that. So even though you may think that their freedom was being taken away, there is an argument that it was for the greater good. So there's obviously a lot of arguments on both sides of the story here. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. I know that the couple has already said that they are going to hire an attorney, so I am very interested to see how that lawsuit plays out, if at all. So let me know your guys' opinion, if you think this was right or wrong and why. I'd be interested to hear that at the very least. If you have any other legal questions, please feel free to ask me. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me, you can Facebook message me, whatever works for you. Just please reach out, and I will get back to you as soon as I see your message. I will definitely respond. So that's all I have for you guys today. Please check back in next week or subscribe to my YouTube channel to see my weekly Free Info Friday videos. Stay safe, everyone, and I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you next week.